You know, direct contact with your guys would have its advantages.
Not to my guy.
The man embedded beside John was named Jack, and his story was the exact opposite of mine. 10 years earlier, Jack had graduated top of his class from the police academy. But because of his complicated family background, he was selected by the superintendent to go undercover the moment he joined the force.
You sure of that?
I'm sure of that.
We would be cunts. You calling us cunts?
Even though he hated the assignment, he eventually obeyed the order. The superintendent gave him startup money. Since his academy background couldn't be hidden, he had to create a criminal record himself, get kicked off the force, and end up in prison. 4 months later, Jack was released on parole, but he still had to attend regular therapy sessions. To successfully infiltrate the gang, the first thing he did after getting out was visit his aunt. But his real goal was to get close to his cousin. Using that connection, he slowly earned the trust of John's crew. To climb the ranks as quickly as possible, he worked desperately every single day to prove himself. And because of that, John started paying attention to him.
You met my friend, Mr. French, the other night.
But real trust never comes easy. John always suspected that Jack might be an undercover cop.
Flip it.
Only after checking Jack's arm did John finally lower his guard a little. Then he pulled out a severed hand. He said, "We found a wire inside the last trader's arm. It wasn't hard to imagine what happened to that guy afterward." Jack was completely shaken. He immediately threw away every surveillance device he had on him. The superintendent realized that the young man was close to breaking mentally, so he made Jack a promise. If they could take down John's organization, Jack would get his badge back. But the raid that night still ended in failure. The police never expected a veteran like John to escape by water. Jack instantly realized something. There had to be another mole inside the police department. At the same time, John also figured out there was a police informant somewhere around him, so he ordered me to find the rat. But I didn't have access to the superintendent's computer. The only thing I could do was ask John to help me get the files on everyone involved in last night's operation. Truthfully, by then I was already getting tired of this life. Ever since I met Lisa, for the first time, I started wanting a normal life. But deep down, I knew the truth. Someone with my identity could never really have a future. What I never expected was this. Lisa was actually Jack's therapist. To protect his cover, Jack had no choice but to keep pretending, because whoever uncovered the mole first would win this silent war. One day, after returning to the hideout, he was told to fill out his social security number and bank account information. At that moment, he suddenly had a bad feeling, but he filled it out anyway. The completed forms were sealed inside envelopes. Meanwhile, my own performance had earned me recognition from my superiors. They started assigning me to secretly investigate every officer inside the department. But while I was meeting John, Jack quietly followed me. The theater was too dark for him to clearly see John's face, so he waited until the movie ended and kept following us outside. He stayed behind me the entire time but never got a clear look at my face. And slowly I started to realize someone was tailing me. But then, at the worst possible time, Jack's phone suddenly rang.